Greetings, I'm the Political Ferret. Let's talk about wording once more. If you followed the show, you know by now that I dislike the terms left and right regarding politics, mostly because they are terribly inaccurate. I understand the use of it. It's simple and every art student is able to understand these categories, especially if you label them good and bad in some way. But if we are talking about people who are able to understand a bit more than this, it's just impractical. So, what to do? Well, let's use different words. If it comes down to the debate at hand, right here, right now, we don't have to use right and left. What we have to use is Antiwest versus pro-West. So, can you translate right to pro-West and left to anti-West? Ha! No, that's the thing. You can hold right ideas, such as, say, religion should have more to say in the state, and it's still somehow Westy because you can mean Christianity or atheism. Or you mean Islam, and we know that Islam is not very pro-West, isn't it? On the other hand, you can hold left positions, such as the idea that women should have equal rights to men, and that's very, very Westy, especially if you compare the rights of women have in the rest of the world. Or you hold the position that the West oppresses the women and therefore must fall to free all women. It's all about West versus anti-West. For the antis, it's not about an alternative to the Western way of life. Since the Frankfurt School gave birth to the critical theory, at least, it's just about deconstructing the West. From my perspective, it's like somebody says, hey, your mobile phone is crappy and it's old and ugly and not up to date. So let's throw it to the ground and stamp on it because the next mobile phone will be better. And if you're one of those guys who know that things don't have the tendency to improve by themselves, that somebody have to have an idea and there's a lot of effort and work involved with that, you understand why this is batshit crazy. On the other hand, if you are a rich, spoiled brat with a master's degree in gender art, journalism, psychology, whatever, it might make some sense to you. Because remember, if you believe in Marxism, you believe in Hegel and the power that thoughts can make things. So let's be honest, it's not right against left. I mean, right now, in 2017, in the Western world, it's just West against anti-West. That's very, very different in China, but let's stay focused. So that's the reason that, say, Greens ally with an ultra-right-wing movement such as the Islam. They are both anti-West, but for very, very different reasons and with very, very, very different ideas how the future should look like. But who has time to think about consequences nowadays? And don't get me started how anti-West the Nazis were back in the day. True, they were more or less anti-anything, but my dear viewer, just have a short look to Islam and tell me that they are not in war with everything that's not Islam. And if you disagree, I would kindly ask you to read a bit about the Dar al-Islam and the Dar al-Harab, or if you prefer the more modern wording, Dar al-Gharab or Dar al-Kufir. Yeah, I know, my Arab is even worse than my English, but the thing is, Islam wants the world. They say that, they act upon that, and you just have to listen or to see. They are not left because they want to crush nations. Whatever you hate on the West, believe me, they do it worse. With the exception of finance, especially compound interest thingy, I give them that. So, what the anti-West lefties are doing, from my perspective at least, is something along a beta seal who allies with a shark. Because the shark promises this beta seal that he is going to eat the big old alpha who gets all the females. Yeah, he will eat him, and the beta will become the next alpha. Hooray! So, well, what do you guess they do next, these dear sharks? What did the Islamists do with the leftists in Iran back in the day? Yeah, exactly. If you're anti-West, I mean, it's okay, just call it his name. It's Okay, but it's not left. It has nothing to do with the left movements of the past. It's just anti-West. And if you're pro-West, don't let these guys drive you in the right corner. You can be left and pro-West. In fact, I think that's the real left. Because, as you know, there is a left without Marx. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a great day.